Welcome back to MobiusPick. We'll be doing another draft today.
I'm still Daniel, and he's still Brad.
True story.
Last week we talked a little bit about Black Rock Mountain.
Black Rock Mountain, we did the first instances and then fell at the Heroic.
And we'll be doing the exact same thing next week.
Yeah, as soon as they release the next piece of content. So we've got three choices here, and of them, the Hunter is probably rated the highest.
Right, we don't have Hunter, we have Warrior, Druid, and Warlock.
Oh, I'm apparently blind.
Right.
Warrior is rated below average. The Warlock is also rated below average. And the Druid is rated average. So I guess we'll be going with that.
Right, and again, this has to do with the average card quality. They're mostly worried about commons and uncommon power level. Oh, well, this is interesting. We'll be pulling up our spreadsheet, as we've been using before, for our first couple of picks, and kind of trying to figure out why the spreadsheet assigns the values to this specific champion. So we have Starfall, right, dealing 5 damage to a minion, or 2 damage. That is very powerful. I would assume it's that by quite a bit. Starfall's flexibility of either going large by hitting one big creature, or wide by hitting multiple creatures is a big deal. That kind of flexibility and removal is amazing.
Yes, it's rated a 78 on the scale. And I'm going to guess the other ones are below that, but I'll look them up.
It's probably Violet Teacher followed by Mana Addict.
The Teacher's a 66, and Mana Addict is a 12. So,
well, that's surprisingly bad. I guess Druid just doesn't have a lot of spells. Like in Mage, Mana Addict would probably be a decent card.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
we should probably pull up our
as the first pick.
Our view as well here, so we know where.
Sorry, what do you mean?
Our live stream, our live screen for where we're.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, one second. It's technical stuff.
Right.
Sure. Perfect.
Tons of technical
now we can see
stuff.
the chat.
All right, so we should be able to see people's chat as well.
We do have a viewer.
So
that's cool. Anyway, our next pick here, we have a Wind Fury Harpy, Ogre Mage, or Mark of the Wild. These all seem like pretty solid cards. We talked about before the magic number for toughness in this game is 5. So Ogre Magi is good, but I wouldn't assume it's as good as a spell as a Chill Wind Yeti. Mark of the Wild is probably somewhere in the middle. It might be beating out Ogre Magi. It's hard to say. And Wind Fury Harpy is a hard card for me to evaluate. It seems it has a lot of ceiling. We talked before, right? The potential is very high. But paying 6 for a 4/5 that can just die seems like it could be poor. So what's the rankings?
So the Ogre Magi is a 50. The Mark of the Wild is a 50, and the second one will have a lower value. And then the Wind Fury Harpy is a 30.
All right. I kind of like the first Mark of the Wild, but the first Ogre Magi is also good. You know, it's close here. Do we want to start out with the creature? Are we going to have a lot of spell damage? Is that something we want to see and prioritize? Mark of the Wild lets us, make any creature into moderately decent threat. It's hard to go back and forth here. I guess we should talk about what kind of deck we think would be exciting to play. Another part to the limited is there is the win ratio. We unfortunately are not experienced enough to know which Druid's going to be better. We don't know if spell damage or taunt is going to make the deck better. We just lack that.
True.
So we're going with what we think is going to be exciting. What do you look at there, Brad?
So I think the Ogre Magi would be better in this case because I think later in the draft we might get another chance to get the Mark of the Wild. But if we get the Mark of the Wild now and another one comes out later, we won't want that one probably.
Right. And the reason it's worse in multiples specifically is because if your opening hand has 2 Mark of the Wilds, it's kind of disappointing, right? You want to be able to spread it, right? Seeing the first Mark of the Wild is amazing. And the second one can be good, but you have to have a good creature, and you don't want more than one creature with taunt in play at a time. Taunt creatures are very good deployed sequentially.
Yeah, more taunt creatures just lets them choose which taunt creature they'd rather kill, basically.
And the less choices your opponent has, the better, right? We've got Wailing Soul, which is probably the best. It's probably Wailing Soul, Goblin Sapper, Secret Keeper. Secret Keeper is just the kind of card you can't play in limited. You don't have enough secrets. You can't build a deck around a card you're not going to see, and it's just too bad on its own. If this was a 2-mana 2/3, it would be fine. but it's not. A 1 mana 1/2 is unimpressive. Those stats we talked about before. The 4 mana 4/5 great. 2 mana 2/3 mediocre. 1 mana 1/2 almost unplayable.
So the Sapper is rated a 44. The Secret Keeper is rated a 4. Pretty much what you're saying. And the Wailing Soul is rated a 44. So
the Wailing Soul is the highest.
Yeah.
The Goblin Sapper, again, has potential to be strong, but just the consistency.
Oh, well, it's actually rated the same.
The same?
As the Wailing Soul. So I would rather have the 3/5 for 4, I think, than the 2/4 that might have an ability. But since we've already gotten a 4 and a 5 for our first 2 picks, I guess you can go either way.
I like an early Wailing Soul, and the idea here is sometimes there are cards with bad effects, and we can silence those effects away. One thing Brad was talking about is that Frost is a silenceable effect.
Mm-hmm.
You can knock it off, right? And starting with a card like Wailing Soul, we might not. It might just be a 3/5 with the downside, but there's a chance it could be more. All right, so it's going to be Harvest Golem, Wind Fury Harpy, and Healing Touch. And there's going to be a large gap between each of those because Healing Touch is a bad card.
It's rated a 30. The Wind Fury, I think we already talked about that one, but it's also rated a 30. And then the Harvest Golem, I imagine, is rated quite a bit higher.
Gaining the 8 health when you need it, I guess, is important, and you can also heal your creatures. Your creatures are never going to have 8 worth of damage on them usually. That's a lot, and paying 3 for what's usually going to be just 2 or 3 heals just is disappointing.
It is. The Harvest Golem is actually rated as 72. I figured it would be. First of all, it has decent stats, 2/3 for 3, and then it summons another 2/1 minion when it dies.
Right, this is the card advantage. We talked about these bundled cards, right? Paying 2 for a 2/3 and 1 for a 2/1 is a great deal when it only costs you a half a card each. I'm thinking that, what is this? Druid of the Fang seems, if you have a beast, make this a 7/7. That's interesting.
Okay, so currently we don't have any beasts.
I'm thinking the order is actually Swipe, Burly, Rockjaw, Trog, and then Druid of the Fang. Even though it's a very interesting card, it does have requirements, and I'm not sure how easy it is to get enough beasts. But this rating will tell us. If it's rated highly, it means beasts are not too hard to come by. And this is early enough that if we are on a tiebreaker, we can swing towards it.
So Druid of the Fang is rated a 44. The Burly Rockjaw is rated a 58. And the Swipe is rated at 92. I figured it would be because generally dealing 4 damage to an enemy is good. And then the additional effect of 1 damage to all other enemies means you might be able to clear out several things at once. Kind of a board sweeping type effect.
Right, and we went back to the Burly Rockjaw has a lower floor and a lower ceiling than the potential 7/7, but paying 5 for a 4/4 is just disappointing. All right, so here we've got Mechanical Yeti, Abusive Sergeant, and then Wolf Rider. That's the order I think they're coming out. Again, the 4/5. 5 is just that sweet spot.
Yeah, Wolf Rider's rated a 50. The Mechanical Yeti,
I think it's in the
it's
70s.
a 78.
Yeah.
We've talked about him before. And then the Abusive Sergeant is a 50 as well. So we're going to go with the Yeti. So already just 6 picks in, we've got mostly 4 drops.
Which is okay. Is it Druid that has the mana acceleration if we want it?
It is if we manage to draft any.
All right, so here we're probably at Force Tank Max, Mark of Nature, Acolyte of Pain.
So Mark of Nature is rated at 46, and the second pick has lower value. The Force Tank Max is a 60, and the Acolyte of Pain is going to be a 48.
Acolyte of Pain only really shines in the major priest decks where you can take advantage and abuse that ability to draw more than 1 card.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it looks like Force Tank Max for us.
All right.
To the max. All right, it looks like another Mechanical Yeti. Claw is a good removal spell. I'm not going to lie, it's fine paying 1 mana to do 2 damage. But it's costing you health because you do have to attack. So if you attack their 6/2, you lost 4 health.
And it's rated a 60 on the scale, so it's rated quite a bit higher than I would have thought.
That removal is just good. Early, it does save you quite a bit. Ogre Brute's an interesting card. We found out that it can swing past Taunt. It is truly random.
It's rated a 66.
Right. So it is the Mechanical Yeti here again in our furious 4-drops. We're getting to the point where we're going to have to stop taking as many 4-drops. But Mechanical Yeti is just too good to pass up. Like, I
really
might just
good.
take Infinite Mechanical. Here, if Ogre Magi was the highest rated card, I don't think we'd still pick it unless we wanted the spell damage. I think it actually probably still is the highest rated. No, probably Micro Machine. I don't know.
Well, Micro Machine's rated a 56. The Youthful Brewmaster is rated a 48.
Youthful Brewmaster also particularly bad in our deck if we have to return a 4-drop, and it looks like we will.
And the Orc Magi is still 50, so I guess we'll go with Micro Machine.
It's a great card there.
So far, we've actually got 4 mechs. So there seems to be a sub-theme developing, though I don't know if we'll see much support for it.
Arcane Golem is a card I do not like. Giving your opponent mana crystals are very real cost, and we're not nearly aggressive enough to support a 4-2, which is usually going to trade with their 2 casting or 3 casting cost card.
Yeah, now it might come into play and deal 4 damage immediately because it has charge.
It will.
But I don't know if we're aggressive enough to even take advantage of that.
Right.
So it's rated a 45 on the scale.
We're trading tempo for them. Your opponent gets that tempo back. It's very risky. It is better later, but Grim Patron is a very potentially interesting card. If
so
we were
this is a new card, actually.
It is. It just came out with the new set. I would definitely pick it if we were a mage. A lot of upside to shooting it and getting another one. Here, it's probably not nearly as good.
No, it's actually rated a 10 on their scale.
It's just normally going to die. You have to make the attacks. They're not normally going to be favorable. It takes a lot of work to get a couple guys out of this. It's probably Young Priestess, Arcane Golem, Grim Patron.
Young Priestess 40, Arcane Golem 44. So it's really whichever one supports our deck the best at this point.
We could go with a 1 or a 2. With us having so many 4 costing cards,
I think I'd rather go with a 1 in this case.
yeah. Alright, so we're probably Lord of the Arena, Unstable Ghoul, Thrall, Farseer. One thing I do like about Unstable Ghoul is with all of the big guys we have in toughness, its downside is less of a downside for us. It's less adverse to us, and if we can pick up another swipe, that ability is very synergistic. Multiple stacks of 1 damage across multiple creatures. I can see a situation where, we attack into their board and then cast a swipe, and then all of a sudden they lost several cards. It is 2 cards from us, so it has to cost them more, or at least 2 cards, but that's not too hard.
So the Ghoul is rated a 36. If I remember correctly, the Lord is rated much higher.
The Lord is the best card.
So it's 48.
No, it's that 5 toughness, which is not nearly as good when it costs 2 more mana.
Farseer is rated an 8. So considering how many 4-drops we have, we might want to go with the Unstable Ghoul. But we don't have any 6-drops, so that's a good option as well.
Taunt's always solid too. We always want to pick up taunt cards, and being able to pick them up on a bad pick as opposed to a solid pick is nice. Being able to follow a 4-drop into a 4-drop into a taunt guy to back them up is nice. So
yeah, we can go with him. So at this point, we're almost halfway through at 11 picks. So we're going to need to start looking for some curve balancing things.
Yeah. So the pick order here is actually probably Earthen Ring, Farseer, Healing Touch, and then the Warden. Being a 1/7 taunt seems like it's really good, but unless you're in Priest, it's just going to die in a couple attacks. It does buy you a couple turns, but that's not always worth the card. And very late, it's going to buy you exactly 1 turn, if that.
Not to mention the restoring 3 health could be used to save another one of your minions, which may be able to trade again.
Right, we see the Healing Touch and the Earthen Ring Farseer, and it's not even close. You're paying the same amount of mana. And that other 5 health doesn't do anything.
A lot of the time it won't. So the Ring Farseer is rated as 64. The Magshushan, the butchered name here, is rated at 30.
Magushan Wall.
And the Healing Touch we've already talked about, it's 30 as well.
Right, that's a 34-point difference, and that 3/3 body represents all that, right? Earthen Ring Farseer, when everything's healed, still a 3/3. Healing Touch, you can lose the game and you can be in a position where you are unable to win, and you have full life because you just don't have creatures. It's going to draw you a card that you didn't want. All right, so it's Spectral Knight, Mark of Nature, and then Delarian Mage here. Delarian Mage just not doing much. 1 spell damage on a 1/4.
And I mean, we're 12 picks in, and I don't think we've got a single thing. This one does Starfall does damage,
And swipe.
and Swipe does damage. So we've got 2, and we've already got 1 Orc Magi.
Yeah,
So-
we would pick up more Ogre Magi's. Those are decent. I don't mind paying. You're going to pay basically the extra mana somewhere, and a 4/4/4 is decent at the spell. I think we're going Spectral Knight here, probably.
Probably. Spectral Knight is rated a 72. The DeLorean.
The DeLorean Mage.
Yes, DeLorean Mage
It
rated
opens from the
14. Mark of Nature is a 46.
We're looking for some early stuff. We want some. We're going to be probably taking the Bloodfin Raptor, although we might take the Nubian Weblord if we don't have much Battle Cry. We're almost halfway through, and I don't think we have.
Battle Cry. Let's see. We've got Silence All Minions, which we're not worried about that, except it'll just cost more. And so we've got 2 Battle Cry things so far, so this is looking pretty good for our deck.
I think the Weblord is just too bad of a card, even with that effect. I think we probably are
Yeah,
taking the
a
Bloodfin
1/4 for
Raptor.
2 is good, but since it doesn't have taunt, they don't have to block it, or it doesn't have to block for us. I don't really know how to describe that. The Raptor's rated to 52. The Nerubar is rated to 34, and the Org Magi is rated 50.
So even if the Bloodfin Raptor was lower, it would be our pick. We need 2 drops. Looking at our curve, it is terrible. We can't afford to let our opponent get out several creatures that's going to trade with whatever we want. Here we have a Cult Master. Silverback Paladin and Argent Squire are just terrible cards. Cult Master is a great card, even though it's redundant on our very high 4 cost curve. We still have 15 more picks, half of our picks. We can prioritize other cards and just pick up the very best of 4 drops.
The Squire is rated a 40. The Silverback Patriarch is rated a 4. And the Cult Master is rated a 68. And it also mentions diminishing returns.
Alright, so we're probably going with Wrath here. It's amazing. Gnome Leopard, not that hot unless you're very, very aggressive. We don't need more 4 drops. And the flexibility. Kill a big creature, or you can just pay 2 and draw another card. Or sometimes you even get a 2-for-1, which is very feasible if you play it early.
So Wrath is rated a 78. The Leper Gnome is rated a 26. And the Magi we've looked up several times rated a 50.
Alright, so we're probably going with Haunted Creeper here. Cobalt Geomancer has a lot of synergy in our deck. It would be good, all these things, but the fact of the matter is, this gets us 3 bodies for 2 mana. That's quite a bit. You can spend the 1 card to get multiple cards. It's very easy to just have your 1/2 trade with one of their cards, and then even send in both your 1/2s and 2 to kill another card. That's fine. Any amount of advantage from multiple creatures is great.
So the Haunted Creeper is rated a 64. The Boltfist Orc is actually rated as 72. Probably because it's a 6 for 6/7. And the Geomancer is rated 36. So we do have a lot of 4 drops still, but we still have plenty of picks. So I guess it's just up to us which one we'd rather have.
We can try the Boulder Fist Ogre. It's not a card looks as impressive, but there's going to be more 2 drops. Alright, Moonfire is a terrible card that I do not want to play. What is the rating on Moonfire? I'm assuming it's going to be one of the lowest removal spells. Probably the lowest. It just seems...
It's rated a 40, so
that's
below average.
That's still impressive.
It
We're
is
probably going with the Mechanical Yeti. Unless Druid of the Claw is just a...
Druid of the Claw is actually rated an 80.
Wow, I underestimated that. I guess that flexibility of being able to have charge of that. Alright, so I'm going Druid of the Claw. They're very close in rating, by the way. If we needed the 4-drop, we would have picked the 4-drop. We would rather the 5-drop. Here we're probably going with the Blood Cell Raider, which I think is better than Frostwolf Grunt.
Blood Cell Raider is a 50. The Frost Wolf Grunt is rated bad at 32.
That extra toughness means a lot. There are a lot of creatures with 2 power, and just being able to trade for 2 of them potentially is much better. And those 2s are filling up, right? We've got a good 2s. I feel like that we're probably taking Azure Drake. All of these are great cards. I would be happy to have any of them if they all costed. If Azure Drake wasn't in the picture, I think I would rather have. Well, I don't know. Keeper of the Grove and Twilight Drake are very good. It's hard to read this, but I do think the ordering is Azure Drake, Twilight Drake, and Keeper of the Grove. Just centaurs, you just can't rate them highly compared to Drakes. Drakes fly in the air. They're scaly.
Yes. Azure Drake's rated a 88. Twilight Drake's a 66. Keeper of the Grove is rated an 82. Actually.
All right, so we're Azure Drake, Keeper of the Grove, Twilight Drake. Twilight Drake has a pretty significant downside late in the game in that it can be a 4-mana 4/1. And that's not good. Keeper of the Grove, consistent, right? You can silence a big threat. You can do simple 2 damage, and not a great 2-for-1, but it helps stay on the board, right?
Yes. The spell damage +1 on the Drake might actually come in handy as well.
All right, I think we're probably taking another Druid of the Claw. Darkscale Healer is decent, but I think it's Druid of the Claw, Darkscale Healer, and then Dancing Swords, which is a card I really don't like.
The Dancing Swords is rated at 32. The Darkscale Healer is rated at 54, and our Druid is rated, I think it was an 82? No, it's an 80.
We have a very high mana cost, potentially powerful deck.
We do.
When we played this with Priest, it worked out well. Okay, I think we're either taking the Robo-Cub or the Druid of the Claw. We need to look at our curve.
Yeah, the Robo curve is rated a 70, which is convenient because I think we do need 2 drops. The Druid of the Claw we already talked about several times.
We just have so many big creatures, and can we scroll over to see how many 3s and 4s we have together? Like, we want to have more 3s.
No, it doesn't actually let me count them. That is weird. So we've got Wrath, which is not a creature, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 2-drop creatures, and then 1, 2, 2 3-drop creatures.
We have to take the Cub here. Even though I would rather have more Druid of the Claws in theory, we just need more early stuff. We don't want to get run over early. We can keep our curve still very heavily, highly weighted with the power of our 4-drops. So
yeah. I really wouldn't mind having 3 of these. The
Well,
only
then-
problem is I don't know if we'll ever get to 5. I don't know how slow,
The game can be pretty slow. We can try the Druid of the Claw. I'm not opposed to it. It's a greedy pick, but we have more 2-drops, and we might not see another good 5-drop to this point.
And we can just drop all of these with taunt. So
You can.
a
Sure, we
4/6
can try
taunt
it.
for 5.
Players at
We
home,
may
this is a
regret this later.
greedy pick.
Greedy.
Right here, we're going to probably go with the Infiltrator, but the Elven Archer is a good card as well. Voodoo Doctor is a 1-drop that doesn't do a lot on turn 1. It can do a lot later, where the 2 health matters quite a bit, but that's not here. We're probably going Infiltrator and using our Infiltrator to aggressively trade for their creatures to get to our bigger drops.
So Infiltrator is rated 60, the Archer is rated 46, and the Voodoo Doctor is rated 26. So definitely the stealth creature.
All right, I think we're
liking
going
all
with Mech
these,
Warper.
actually.
I think the order is Mech Warper, Brewmaster, Raid Leader. Sometimes Raid Leader can be quite good. On our deck, we are not very cheap. It is very bad.
Well, so Mech Warper has an ability which often probably wouldn't mean anything, but if you'll look, we've actually got quite a lot of mechs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4 is a lot. 5, sorry. I knew it was more than 4. And so that'll be a useful ability.
It's also the best card.
Yeah, Raid Leader is rated very lowly, even though it feels like it would be better than they say it is.
All right, I think we're going with a Noyotron here. It buys us a lot of time. Regardless of Jungle Panther's rating, which is going to trade 1 for 1, a Noyotron buys us usually 2 turns, or at the very least 2 attacks. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for time to just drop all of these big, thick 4 and 5 drops where we really will dominate the game.
Yeah, so Noyotron is rated at 48. The Wild Growth, which will give us an extra mana crystal the next turn, because it gives us an empty one, is rated at 42. And the Jungle Panther is rated average at 54.
It's rated the highest. And here we could pick the Wild Growth, but the thing about it is, a Noyotron buys us 2 turns to play our 4s and 5s, and is fine later for protecting us, whereas the Wild Growth is only accelerating us up. If we had a decent curve that was heavy on 6s and 7s, I would look at the Wild Growth. It would be better there. But we don't need more mana. We just need a little bit of time to go 4, 4, 4, and 5s for the rest of the game. Explosive Sheep looks very good in our deck. The 2 damage does a lot less because we have a lot of guys with a lot of toughness. It can clear out a lot of their guys, and
Ooh, deal 2 damage to all minions. And most of our minions, I believe, would actually live right through it.
it would. We have a lot of toughness everywhere, and that's why it shines. Explosive Sheep can be a very bad card in your deck. Sometimes you don't have a lot of very aggressive strategies. It's a terrible card. It's a card you actively would not pick. I would pick a card that did nothing over a card that's actively going to hurt me, but it's in the position to help us. It's rated low, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah, the Brewmaster is rated at 48, which is a little higher than it. And I think the Murloc Raider is rated very lowly. Yeah, it's rated terrible. So I think in our deck, this is going to do some work.
It's a mech. All right, so we probably have Burly Rockjaw Trog, Abusive Sergeant, and Wisp. So you might think, well, Wisp doesn't cost me anything. It's costing you 2 very important things. The first is it's costing you a pick. It could be a better card, and both of these cards are better. And it's costing you a draw step. You have to draw this card, and I would literally rather draw any other card in my deck. Unless... Nope, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, so according to the order, Burly Rockjaw is a 58 and the Abusive Sergeant's a 50. We could really go with either because, as you can see, now we've got plenty of 2 drops, but a whole lot of 4 and 5 drops, not to mention some 6 and 7. So really either one, because you're not really going to play Abusive Sergeant on the first turn anyway.
You can. We can play him in a way to just drop him to trade early. That's fine. I'm leaning towards the Burly Rockjaw. This does seem like a slower format, and we do have... The card just doesn't lend itself so well in our deck.
Ooh, now, see, this is interesting. I think Naturalize is a high pick. However, it does generate a large amount of card disadvantage.
You do, but the good thing about this is Naturalize is better in... limited in a lot of ways because their card quality is going to be lower. In Constructed, you're going to draw 2 excellent cards. In Limited, if you kill their Legendary, you give them 2 cards that are less good than a Legendary.
Mm-hmm. So Naturalize is rated at 30. And I believe I remember the Orc Mage and the Jungle Panther being rated higher than that.
All right.
So it's really up to whatever we feel like picking.
It probably means there's not enough cards that justify killing for the 2 cards. We can. I think we're going to pick the Magi, or maybe
or the Panther. We're lacking 3 drops. It would be nice to
we'll
be able
probably
to
pick the
curve
Panther
out
here
regularly.
Brad's right. But the thing about Naturalize is we can imagine a ceiling where the 8 mana guy that does 8 damage, right? Definitely worth for killing for 2 cards. But how often are we going to be killing Force Tank Max, which is good? It would cost us 2 of our cards, and that's still pretty good. But what about when we're killing their Chillwind Yeti, and then they draw a 2/3 and a 3/4?
Yes.
Now we're behind.
I hope to never kill a Legendary in this format because I hope to never see one on their side of the board. But
It'll happen.
it probably will happen if we do well enough.
All right, I think here we're probably leaning towards the Abusive Sergeant.
Either that or the Wild Growth. Depends on how
It's
fast
true, we
we
could play the Wild Growth. We might not, because we are going to normally play the Abusive Sergeant on turn 2. We're going to play it in response to our opponent's card so we can kill their creature.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be turn 2 or turn 3.
It is better later. Wild Growth is worse.
Almost
later.
unusable later, yes. In fact, when you get to 10 mana, you cast Wild Growth for 2, and it gives you a card that just says 0 draw card. So it doesn't become useless once you get 10.
Okay, well then that's something I never knew, and it makes me a lot more likely to want to pick that card. In fact, that seems fine.
Yeah.
I thought it did nothing. Oh, here we go. Ancient Watcher. This is a combo card. This is a card that goes with other cards to do powerful things. We don't have access to those cards, so it's worthless. It's literally unplayable.
Yeah. it just sits there the entire game.
We have 2 very
Unless
bad...
we silence it. Which is a bad combination to shoot for.
We don't want to play bad... One of the things is you don't want to play cards in combo decks that are bad on them. We played the Summon the Hounds. That's a good card. And we played other cards like Coldmaster. That's a good card. Those are 2 good cards that combo well. Playing a bad card... Playing 2 bad cards to get a great effect is a terrible idea.
It's very bad.
Here we're going with the Arcane Nullifier X21. It's the only good card. Murloc Tidecaller is, I guess, technically better than Ancient Watcher. I think I'm...
You know, I didn't even look up Ancient Watcher because I knew we were picking it.
If I had 3... How many of my Silence Kids would I need to play Ancient Watcher? I'd have to have, like... Too many.
So the Watcher is rated a 2. The Tide Caller is rated a 1. Both the worst of the worst. So just on that, we would not pick them.
What's the Arcane Nullifier at?
The Arcane Nullifier, I think it was in the 40s or something.
So if the Arcane Nullifier was Wisp, if we had 3 terrible cards, I think we would probably
That's 56 actually.
Yeah, that's actually a decent card. Probably the Tide Caller in the at 1 mana 1/2 at least is a 1 mana 1/2.
Yeah. Alright, so and this one has taunt and can't be targeted, so both of which are relevant abilities.
They are. If you have some sort of onboard effect that can heal it, it can be extremely annoying.
So this is going to be a weird draft in that we are up and down here.
What this really means is we're going to play 2-drop, 2-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop. Very often.
We hope.
That's what's going to happen a lot. We're just not going to do other stuff. We can use our ability on turn 2. That does help us. Gives us armor, lets us attack down smaller creatures. So 2's not quite as important. Having a strong 2 ability. Like if we were a warrior deck, I would actually feel very comfortable not running almost any 2s. Because gaining 2 health is fine. Or gaining 2 armor is always fine. Do we have anybody on there? Is anyone hanging out with us? We got 2 viewers.
We got 2 viewers.
Who do we got? We've got so much. I mean, so much. And I think the other person is off.
Yeah, either the other person is hidden or it's counting wrong. So, because I didn't see another name.
I'm not very good at counting.
All right, Daniel, I'm going to switch with you and let you have the first win or loss.
All right. Or tie?
Yes. If you manage to tie, I will buy you something expensive.
Oh, man.
Good luck.
All right, so here we're going to push some 4s. We do have a lot of 4s, but we're also fine pushing 4s because we don't care. All right, so I'm going to keep
In
the swipe.
fact, I would push that entire hand because you don't want to play explosive sheet until they have things on the board. You don't want to play it early; they'll just kill it early.
Yeah,
I would
keep the
push
swipe.
the entire hand.
I'm going to keep the swipe. We have
So-
a bunch of 4s and 5s. And the hand is slightly worse, but it'll work. The coin here helps quite a bit. It lets me do something early.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be using our ability for a few turns. Oh, there's a 3. How lucky.
Yeah, if I need to play it early, it's fine. But I'm also fine just trading early. This is not nice. All right.
We just have to live long enough to take over the game with all these big drops.
So we're just going to go ahead here and I guess
Yeah, I would
attack the
hit
creature.
him.
Yeah.
And then he's going to hit you, and then you're going to hit him again. It's going to feel real bad.
This is a rough spot to be in. My other option was to hit him and then drop the Harvest Golem and then make that trade, but oh god,
Oh my.
this is just painful.
Go ahead and use the coin and kill everything on his side of the board.
I think that's definitely the pay there. It's not like some amazing play, but for what it's worth, our next turns are guy with taunt, guy with charge, guy with charge.
Not to
Guy draws
mention
a
that
card.
Knife Juggler represents a lot of damage.
Quite a bit with the amount of cards they can draw. And that would have represented 2 more, which we don't have to worry about because Arcane Nullifier is nullifying this. That's fine. We have so many 4-drops, we don't have to prioritize playing Wailing Soul. We can play it much, much later. And the safety behind this guy is very high. There's not much they can do to interact with it.
That's very true. It looked rough there for a turn or two. I was sure we would just be playing nothing.
I'm considering taking my Druid of the Claw and just trading it here. Not sure.
That seems like a good plan because then they won't be doing much on their turn. And you have another one to follow it up.
We have so many to follow them up.
And then you can just hit them.
Yep, putting the pressure on them to do stuff, and we have a lot of power in our cards.
Mm-hmm. And by the time we get to 8 mana, we'll be dropping 2 a turn. So.
Well, next turn we'll be on 6, so I can drop 2 3s if I'd like. Or I can drop more 4s. That makes me want to drop multiple 3s.
You could drop a 4 and then use your ability to take the taunt off, or take the Divine Shield off that.
Also, a very strong option. And this would be a nice time to play our Wailing Soul. I think I'm just gonna...
So I would.
Yeah, I like your play.
I would use your ability to take that off, then use your creature to take him out.
And then we're dropping the Wailing Soul here.
Yeah.
It's fine that we lose the taunt.
Because your taunt guy would just die to theirs anyway.
Right, and we're going to be dropping more taunt. We'll be at 7 next turn, so we'll probably play a 3 and a 4. But we can also just drop more powerful cards here. We're getting the point. We can play a Force Tank Max. Great card. You know, holding the Mortal Coil is a great play. The longer you can wait, the better. Very powerful effect right here. Being able to just do effects like that to generate a lot of card advantage, really.
Nice.
Let's see, what do we want to go with? We can play our taunt guy and have it instantly die. Play our explosive sheep, which represents 3 damage. Punch 3 to here, kind of like that.
So I think your 3-drop there has stealth, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it won't die if you play it. Well, there's a good chance it won't die.
Right. Our decision if we want to play explosive sheep or we want to play jungle panther. We do want to play multiple creatures this turn because we want to kill the 6/6, and it will be an 8/8.
Your 4-drop, what does it do? The burly one?
It doesn't do much.
Oh, when it casts a spell. Okay.
We're gonna hold that Azure Drake.
I don't think you should cast too good of cards because they will die to that 6/6.
We can just kill it this turn. It does grow more.
Okay, well, you might want to just kill it.
All right, we'll just go ahead and kill it.
And then really quickly play your ability, I think, or the explosive sheep. One of the two.
We'll just play explosive sheep. This limits our opponent's ability to play more creatures. We can attack our sheep into stuff to kill multiple things, which is all fine. We're likely to attack our sheep just into his guy to trade 1 for 1, which we're also fine with, and then play more spells. Remember, next turn we can play Force Tank Max if we'd like, or any of these 2 other cards. Once we get to 9 mana, I'll play the Azure Drake because we will play it and another spell. And there's a chance we might draw one of our damaging spells, which we had 2 or 3. We had a swipe and a star something other.
We had a wrath or something. I don't know. Huh. Weird that they did that, putting that at 1 health, because then we can kill it.
It'll take a chunk out of us as well, but we will be doing that. It just hurts. Alright, now that we're at 15, we're going to want to play a couple 3s. Yeah, we're going to play 2 3s and call that a day. Just trying to get our health as low as possible. We're going to be at 9. Our ability does gain us 1 life.
In the form of shield, or whatever they call that.
Yep, armor. And
Which, even with fatigue damage, counts as life.
That's good.
It does damage to your armor first.
So next turn we'll be at 9. I'm probably just leaning towards gaining a life and playing creatures. It's hard to say if we want to spend every turn.
I'm surprised he did that.
It's an awkward play. He might be playing more spells, so he wanted the one to have the chance for it to go to the 2/1. I don't like that line of play, but with the multiple things, there's a very good chance that it hits us.
Well, with all the creatures he just played, there was a good chance that 2/1 would die, but it just didn't.
Alright, we're going to start with our Drake. He has a chance to draw us a spell that hits, and it's something we actually need. We need to get creatures off this board. It's okay. We can play multiple creatures. Let's first go ahead and trade here. Second, we're going to go ahead and trade here. Not my favorite things to do. And then we're going to play 2 creatures and really have a lot of guys out on the board to attack into him. And then after this, we can go back to playing our powerful spells. It wasn't the most efficient lines, but we need to really get his board presence off so that the card quality we have matters. We need to get really moving forward because his ability is going to gain him quite a bit of advantage.
Nice.
Alright, looks like we're going to go ahead and trade our 2 creatures for those 2 creatures and drop a couple of more big creatures, and that'll be it. We'll be at 6. So we're gonna have to gain 2 life. And we're gonna have to play these 2 4-drops and gain a life and attack him for 1. All right.
There is a chance that 4/4 will in fact hit one of our 2 creatures, which is a good thing.
Yeah, if it hits our 4/5, we're very happy. He needs to attack first. The opportunity for us to get +2 attack makes his attack that much worse. But him playing big spells like this is going to put him in a spot where he can try to catch ahead again. I'm happy with that.
Very good.
But again, we're not really clearing his board, and we are behind. This is a...
We really need to draw a taunt creature right now. And that might not even do it.
Alright, we can play all of this, but we need to think about a way to get rid of creatures on board. We can get rid of these 2, we can gain life, and we can play one of our creatures.
Yeah, the Force Tank Max.
So we're going to go ahead. We can take the riskier play here, but there's really not a reason to.
No,
That means a 50% chance that we just die.
It would be a lot more because you're only at 5.
Alright, now we're at 6. Not where we want to be with our opponent. Not necessarily ahead on cards right now, but with the ability to draw cards for their life, which they have plenty of, our opponents are very far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Craigie boy. I'm not aware we were black at all. But that would be fine. It's okay to be black.
Not sure what he meant.
Alright, we were killed by Hellfire. It's a good song.
Into the face.
So, you know, it was a good way to die.
Well, we died with the spare part. That's what counts.
It's true. Our ability to gain 1 more attack was crucial in losing with grace.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We did draft lots of powerful cards. It just turned out that we were overwhelmed.
Yes, the swarm.
With the Warlock ability, when you're on your back foot, it is not good. If we were the aggressors at any point, it makes it very unattractive to go ahead and pay to the 2 life to draw a card. With him being ahead, it's a very strong ability, and we were not able to mount a counterattack that punished him for it. Wow. All right.
What a great hand.
Lots of options.
I think I'll start by deploying a threat and then gaining a mana crystal. I'm going to deploy the one with the most toughness, in fact, because of Jaina's ability.
Probably, yeah. Unless the creature makes you think otherwise, that's definitely what I would...
Yeah, unless they play something.
And there's always the chance that, you know, you draw a mech next turn. We have several. All right. Well, I would say the 3/2 is better now.
Yeah, you're right.
Explosive sheet. It's awkward here because they can shoot it whenever they want. We'll see how that turns out. Or doesn't. Explosive sheet's probably the most situational card in our deck. So we've come up before. Zombie Chow, I think, is one of the best cards. Our mana curve is very high, so much. We definitely took an odd path here. We're trying to see if the mana curve is quite as important, or what the fundamental number is. I think it's probably 3 in this game. With the 2 drops we have, they have a little less power, but we didn't have as many 3 opportunities. It's probably just the 2/3. It buys us the same amount of time. I'll be right back.
This will probably just die to an attack and a fire. But if they're doing that and they're not casting that, so. Huh. The explosive sheep is a mech. I'm not going to cast the sheep right now. I think that would lead us down the path of them using their fire and then clearing our board. Against Jaina, explosive sheep is a lot less valuable than normal because we can't really control when it dies.
The good news is we have multiple sheep.
No good at attacking us instead of the creature. I would have rather had it the other way. Restore 3 health, charge or taunt.
Well,
I think taunt would be really good.
Yeah, we can trade our 2/3 for the 2/2, and then we can have a 4/6 taunt. If they attack into it, they die. That makes our Earthen Ring Farseer better. If for some reason they don't shoot our guy, we can just Earthen Ring Farseer to gain health if that option becomes available.
Mm-hmm.
A secret. What wonders do you hold? Solid line.
Odd.
I like attacking our 4/6 into Jaina and then following up with probably, I don't know, we'll need to see what they do. That spell probably copies a card, so I think we should do Ogre Mage and make a copy.
Oh, let them have a copy of Ogre Mage?
Yeah, because we don't want them
letting them have a copy of the explosive sheep would be funniest.
It's also an option. It trades for our board, but yeah. It's just if that's not it. Now
it's not it.
Right. If it's not the copy card, then it's not quite as nice.
All right.
Ogre Mage would probably have been.
It counters a spell.
Oh. All right. Well, let's go ahead and gain our health and attack. That's discovering what their secret was definitely an option. I think the Ogre Mage would have been a overall stronger card because more presence, but. Dedicating less creatures while we have this is nice because now he gets to kill a hard guy and attack us.
Only he might mess up. 50% chance.
It's true.
Alright, they dropped 2 creatures. We could drop 1 big one.
I think we drop the Druid of the Claw with Taunt. And then go ahead and keep the pressure on her.
Kind of holding the Ogre Mage because I would like to Ogre Mage and then cast a spell immediately.
We don't have that many spells. We have 2.
That's why I wanted to get the most value out of them. If a time comes up where it's good to cast the Ogre Mage, I'll cast it. 2 for 1 there.
Yeah, but we would much rather have the power there. We don't have a lot of card draw. I think we're probably dropping Lord of the Arena here.
We just keep drawing those.
No,
They're
we're
so
just going to play
good.
another Druid of the Claw. Like, he's going to
Say
spend...
5, 6, that would trade with 1 of their cards and a Fireball. 6 would trade with 2 of their cards. So, this is just better. And, I mean, we can restore 3 health to us, or we can wait. It doesn't really matter.
I really like waiting for the turn where they don't kill over our cards. I'd like to just throw it at them again. The Ring Farseer is decent, but the way the card trades are going to work out, it's not going to be amazing for us. We really want them... Oh,
nice.
It's going to be rough on us. And we're in a worse position. Alright, swipe.
Ooh, nice. 4 damage to an enemy minion and 1 damage to all of the minions. That means 2 damage to all of the minions.
So here I think we're playing Ogre Mage and then swiping the 5/5. Or we could kill the 6/6 by using our... No, we can't use our ability, sorry. Yeah, we swipe the 5/5.
Which kills another thing and makes this a trade.
Right.
Which hopefully they'll think, since I did that tech play, that I've got so many spells, I wanted to get the most value out of it.
Possibly. That's a nice combo right there.
Ooh, freeze.
Unlikely to attack it. Oh, he took the shot. If they didn't have the shot available, that was where our Farseer would have been. Obviously, that wasn't the case. Alright, so it's Lord of the Arena Cult Master. It just draws us a card. They have to trade both of their cards for a 1 card, or they won't trade their actual good card for. Spiteful Weaponsmith is a simple 5-mana 4/6 frequently. You trade the 4/6 in a shot.
We get a card. 3 damage to a minion or 1 damage and draw a card. Taunt.
Alright, we're going to gain 3 life here. Now... we can attack it. Or we can wrath it for
2.
For 3 damage so that we can attack and kill the other card. Or we can draw another card. I think drawing another card is probably better. I think taking it to a 6/3 and then drawing a card has more potential.
I think we should just wait till next turn, just gain an armor.
Also a good option.
Because we can't finish it off this turn.
No. Yeah, the mana efficiency is probably less important. We do need to get something very quickly.
I agree. So next turn, unless they trade here, we can actually kill that by doing 1 damage to it and then hitting it for 3.
Their higher curve is really punishing us. They have a lot bigger cards than us.
Which is saying something, because our cards are pretty big.
Alright,
we're just not drawing them.
Let's Wrath for damage in a card. And I think we Wrath on the 6/4. We don't really have that many options.
Oh, okay. I was very confused with what it was trying to do there.
Alright, well that was a game.
Stunk. That was fun.
Yeah, so this might be a quick match. We've had them before. We've had the quick 1/3s and quick 0/3s.
A lot of people would just resign here. Well, I'm going to let them have their victory.
Again, our opponent can make lots of poor decisions. We've done the same. They can think about killing our creatures instead of killing us. You know, get lost in the moment. So, that's probably not the case. We're probably dead, but that's fine. They're really slow rolling it, enjoying their time. Wiping our board. Showing us who's the real Hearthstone masters. Alright, we're going to try the last one, and I'm going to go make or break on our victory or not.
Alright. Got plenty more gold.
Right, and you know...
Several more losses.
What's 12 wins in a row? 12 undefeated wins. I mean,
yeah,
that happens frequently, right?
Somebody needs to do that. It doesn't always have to be us.
I'm sure it's happened before. They might not be streaming. Maybe we'll be the people that stream at first. The trick is you've got to lose the first 2 games. Convincingly. You can't just go out and automatically scrub like on purpose. You've got to make it look believable like we did and then win because this game has no variance at all. We are only the true masters of our destiny and we're playing against Priest. I like playing against Priest here because we have such high power creatures that often the 2 damage that can be healed is less mattering. Alright, so I'm sending back the Ogre and the Nullifier and I'm keeping the Infiltrator. Infiltrator has potential not to be quite as good depending on how their deck goes. Wow, that is a surprisingly aggressive hand for our not usually aggressive deck.
Yeah, we do have a bit high mana curve.
Fortunately, Boulder Fist Ogre returned to remind us that our deck's curve is not as even.
He came back the very next day.
Even as it should be. You know. And not having another play makes this Micro Machine much better. I'm just going to go ahead and attack. Getting this in early. Our opponent is very quickly needs to start playing things that matter, or that Micro Machine is going to become quite a threat. And it looks like they don't have anything and are sad.
Maybe they'll heal themselves and pass.
They can. Again, it's a stopgap.
That's what I want to say.
Stems the bleeding. They're going to do something big.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Oh, we have a taunt card. We don't.
I'm leaning towards attacking and then letting his Spider Tank trade with our Micro Machine.
Seems fun. Might as well play another 2-drop as well.
Right. Our other option here was to trade our Micro Machine for that aggressive.
Actually, not playing another creature allows him not to hit. Oh well, he's only on 2 mana, so If he were on 3 mana, I would say he's going to go to 4 and then cast the 2 damage to everything spell.
Right, Starfall. I also like this because our Cult Master is probably next. With this kind of board, I'll be very happy trading a lot of our creatures. And if for some reason he attacks us, I will also, again, trade multiple creatures. That's interesting.
Oh, so he can heal it.
Yeah, but... I'm
At the cost of him taking a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, our Cult Master's going to do us some work. It's going to turn into a card. And Druid Claw. We're going to be dropping some taunt guys, and things are going to get good.
So I would have actually just dropped another creature and kept attacking his face.
You would drop the Mechanical Yeti and just kept pressing.
Just kept right in the face.
He would keep trading for our smaller guys, but yeah.
He would have probably gotten the hit and taken out the bigger guy.
I don't know if he has to. He can wait as long as possible. I think I'm actually going to make this a charge card and put a lot of pressure on, or we can make this a taunt card with quite a bit of health. The taunt lets us choose when we want to use effects like Cult Master. It's hard to say. I'm going to actually go ahead and make a more neutral decision of just playing the Yeti, which he'll want to kill as well. I'm not sure if that's quite the best play, but the Druid of the Claw letting me go either way will kind of dictate that more.
Ooh.
It's a 2 for 1, but we got our other card out of the Druid, so it's not nearly as rough on us. Here we are at 6 mana now. Tempted just to play Wailing Soul.
No, I think you should play the 6/7. Just drop the Orc.
Because it has more total.
Just because it's more damage. He's got nothing on the board. He has to do something. Or he'll just die.
We can do the same thing next turn as well. The smaller bodies are easier to take care of. The more toughness matters quite a bit. The only thing we'll be punished for is he plays a card that kills one big creature.
Which they have them.
And
Didn't kill it.
Nope, it's fine. All right, it's time to draw a taunt card. You know what? Let's do our fancy silence thing.
I really hope this works.
Oh, that was so fancy.
Alright, so you can kill his 5/5.
That's what
or you can just hit him in the face and make him deal with your threats, because that would put him at 5. I think that's the best play.
You want to go with that one, the aggressive
play? He's got to do something, like we would have had to do something last game.
Right. If he can get another threat down or something to stopgap his damage, he can kill one of our guys. But we have bested him. Brad?
Yes. Just putting him at 5, if he doesn't immediately see a win condition, usually daily.
Brad's ability to identify when we should go from trying to control the board to kill his opponent as one of his strongest suits. I often go for controlling the board, and that has gotten us killed on multiple occasions.
It really has. A lot of times, though, there's not a reasonable out when we try to control the board.
Right. If we can actually get that. And me killing his cards could have led to a slower, longer drawn-out victory, or a situation where he drew a card that was extremely powerful, and he regained board control with a legendary or high-power synergy that wouldn't normally work. Trading 1 for 1 when we're ahead is usually going to favor board control, but there's always the cost of your opponent just having better cards than you. And killing them quickly is a great strategy.
Yeah, it seems like whenever we're ahead, we should just continue to press our advantage. Play the biggest, hardest to deal with thing.
Right, we're playing a mid-range deck. Our creatures are supposed to be bigger than our opponents for most of the game, except for the very end. So we're going to send back these 2 cards here.
Yeah, I would keep the 3 because you're probably not going to get something better.
No, it's going to trade fairly well. This is a great curve. But the mid-range deck is going to go from a controlling deck to being the aggressor, and we have to figure that kind of shift, that pivot. And Brad identified it very nicely. All right, we're going to start with Young Priestess here. And follow on our curve. I'm actually likely to play the Stealth card earlier. This ability and Stealth will be a very nice combo.
Yeah, you might could just let it sit there with Stealth for several turns.
That I have the potential to. I don't know if it'll be worth the cost.
Probably not, because generally I think turning 4 sideways every turn. Or, that's what you say in Magic. In Hearthstone, having your minions attack every turn seems like the best play.
Alright, so we definitely want to kill that 3/4 if we can.
Looks like it's going to take us at least a turn to kill it.
It'll cost us one of our creatures, which I think is fine because the +3 health is quite a bit.
I think you'd be better off ignoring it one turn, because whatever he plays next, you can just kill first and then worry about that.
But he'll kill our 3/4 there. He's going to kill our 1/2, our 2/1. We'll have played the Panther. So let's go ahead and play the Panther. We can also play... We're playing the Panther either way. If we kill his next card, we can be... Or he can kill one of our cards and then heal. Or he can... Which takes us out
So
of
this way we put more damage to his face when we pretty much know what he's going to do anyway.
He's going to kill our creature and then heal this creature.
Oh, you're right.
So we want to just go ahead and kill this creature so he doesn't have that option. And that plus toughness matters very much in the healing deck. You can also play something with a high toughness that we couldn't have killed, or a taunt card. There's a lot of cards that aren't necessarily very good by themselves, but those 3 things of healing, additional stuff, and or additional health in that card could be bad for us. Mind Visions gave him a
random card in our deck, I think.
Random card from our hand, and we can go ahead and assume it's the Druid of the Claw, though the worst case scenario for us. The other 2 are not so bad. And here we are going to
probably just play the Golem.
Yeah, that's all we really have got. And we're glad we didn't have the Starfall in our hand when he played that card, or he could blow us out. But we're going to go ahead and attack him with both of our cards. If he plays the taunt card, then we'll probably Starfall and trade our 2/1. If he had the
best card now.
The Dark Druid. If he had the Druid, he would probably play the Druid this turn.
Well, he can't. He's at 4.
Oh, it's next
unless he has the coin. I thought he already
used the coin. Wow, that is a powerful card.
Guy.
That'll be a great card for us to Starfall. I'm excited to Starfall it. Oh, or silence it. That's one of the best cards in the game to silence.
I wish we had that.
The star fell on him.
And it hurt.
And that was it. Alright, so we're really aggressive here. Next turn we'll be at 6 mana. Assuming he doesn't do a lot, we'll probably just play both of these cards. Oh! Holy Nova.
Nice. I kind of like keeping the pressure on, but you're actually putting more damage on the field if you put the 3 and the 2 down. Not to mention you can heal your minion.
Yeah. And he has to answer the micro
Forgot
machines
to
again.
attack.
I did forget to attack. That is a bad play when you're trying to be aggressive. Oof. It hurts the soul. Alright. So fortunately Druid of the Claw will do some work here. With the taunt. So what we're going with. I will also not forget to attack this time. In fact, I will attack with lots of cards. And try to make up for the fact that I have shamed us greatly.
Yes.
If we lose by 2, you know who to blame. He's actually in a very hard spot now. He needs to clear the board. He has to spend a whole turn probably getting rid of this Druid of the Claw. He needs to get rid of the Micro Machine right now.
Luckily for us, 4 attack means he can't use his 3 or less or 4 or 5 or greater cards, which the priest has.
Yeah. So the other thing is, the priest has these cards that steal other cards from the deck. They steal them. Where are my hands at? They're over here. Anyway, getting 2 cards out of our deck is worse than 2 cards from his deck. He'd rather draw 2 cards from his deck because his deck's more likely to synergize with them. He could get our 2 best cards. He could get our 2 worst cards. Or, more likely, he could get 2 average cards that are better in our deck, which is cohesive for ourselves, than his deck.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I've never seen that card before.
It's fine. It's nothing...
It doesn't prevent him from dying right now, though, does it?
Probably not.
Well, we have another 4 damage in your hand if you need it.
Let's go ahead and say I need it. We can showboat too. Look at us boating shows. It's so fancy. We're doing it. We did something.
The real secret there is to lose twice and then start winning.
Yeah, no, it's just 11 more wins?
Something like that.
After this one, win or loss, I'm going to throw it over to Brad, though. Micro Machine's been doing work. That guy behind Taunt is amazing.
Certainly is. I'm really liking the 3 or 4 Druid of the Claws we have.
Yeah, True to the Claw, obviously a high pick. I mean, the time we got multiple Glaive Zukas was also nice. Like, when you get multiple copies of one of the best cards in this set, I think it's usually going to be good. Good cards are good is what we're kind of trying to get to here.
It really is. And being able to kill multiple cards of your opponents for one of your cards is what makes equipment in general so good, but what makes several of the cards high picks as well. So I think we push both of the 6s.
We're going to go.
Hope we draw some 2s.
Well, I like Earthen Ring Farseer as well because I can decide to play it early if I need to. It's unlikely. If it does 1 damage to Micro Machine, maybe. If I actually probably would moderately consider it with his setup for the Paladin, just because it's a fine card and it buys me another turn with Micro Machine, which he still wants to kill, which takes a lot of his time. But Earthen Ring Farseer has a chance to just be a fine card, a fine 7-drop with another 4.
So assuming you don't draw something better, I think a first turn Micro Machine will represent a lot of damage.
Yes. I really like this idea. Usually you wouldn't play your 2, but the fact that Micro Machine represents 2 extra damage from playing on the first turn is exactly what Brad's talking about. So we're going to go 2, kill his small guy. Right, we're just going to use his ability every turn to keep his guys off the field.
Yeah, if that's what he's going to go with, we're going to use our ability to basically negate his ability.
And it gains this one nothing. Doesn't
Yeah,
nothing.
it doesn't. It completely negates his ability. Oh, if only we get to play a taunt creature right now.
We can't. We took a high risk position
I think
here.
just attack him for 4 and assume he's going to pull the trade.
And he should. Trading his 2/2 for our 4/5/6/2 is good for him. Micro Machine was rated highly because it has a lot of damage potential. The ceiling on it's very high, but the floor it's fine.
Yeah, the floor doing 5 or 4. Well, I guess it only did 3. We did an additional 1.
The floor it trades with the 2/2, and that's what it did. It did damage for us, but if he had played first, then we would trade it, which is fine. All right, so let's go ahead and think here.
So, Worgen and doing your ability to do a damage to his minion seems good, but also the Jungle Panther seems good. So it's whatever you feel like, really.
I think we'll actually take advantage of the Worgen, and one of the reasons here actually is I'm actually going to just go straight to the 1/4 to get rid of No, we'll go ahead and go.
So
there.
next turn
we'll do both of them.
3.
We'll just do both of those. Yeah, keep the power off the board. It Master, very good card, spreads the board out. Synergistic from the Paladin deck, which can already get creatures on demand. Something like Cult Master makes it very powerful. It's good in Priest as well. It's 2 decks it really shines in. Is he going to shoot us? He can't shoot us. I mean, is he going to make a Paladin?
I don't know. At
Let's see.
4, there's a lot of options for him.
Our options next turn are probably attacking and playing Wailing Soul, or if we want to kill this, hopefully to draw another 2-drop. That is one downside to this plan working out this way it is we're kind of incentivized to spend our mana to kill this if we want to attack, otherwise we trade it with a 1-power creature. And we really don't want to play this 4-drop. Our opponent's dropping a lot of very good creatures. I think. I don't know exactly where we're going to go. Alright, that helps out. Not much. Alright, so we've got 3 options. I don't mind this card as much because we
you
can.
might want to just attack and silence
the card.
and silence your minion because it's a 4/3 or something, isn't it?
It's a 3/5.
3/5.
Might be the case. Do we want to trade with one of his creatures? I don't want to trade with that creature. So if we do attack, it is just to his face. We're trading him.
I would be willing to bet that you want to attack the 1/3 so he doesn't get another free minion, or he only gets 1.
It represents less minions, yeah. It's a rough spot we're in, and it's not too bad. Our opponent does have most of the creatures on the ground, they're fairly low power. This one does, you know,
I mean, if we draw the removal spell that's 1 damage to all creatures, we take out almost all of that. So
yeah, we take out this whole bar. We do 4-1s, which is fine. We don't want to depend on the 1-of card. We're unlikely to draw it, but we have a good curve after this. The Spectral Knight can help add on some power, and then we have a 6 between any 2 3s we want. It's fine.
wasn't bad.
Really, here we just want to get rid of this 4/4. Alright, we can play 2 mechs. I like that play. I think we're going to go with the 2 mechs plan. If for some reason Mech Warper just sits around for a while, that's an odd attack. It's a very odd attack.
Well, they're going for the control option instead of the kill us option.
I would prefer to attack my Amani Berserker into things. And also, killing both of those creatures over killing the Mech Warper, which has the potential to affect the board, is probably not the direction you want to go.
Their own goal. And he didn't... Huh.
Alright, Explosive Sheep is where it's at. I think it's
Definitely.
Explosive Sheep
And then ram your 2/3 into their...
into their
To their 4/2?
into their 2/3, so that their 2/3 dies with this one.
No, wait, hold on. You have to figure out a way to kill the explosive sheep then.
We just attack it next turn,
Well, so I think you should take out their 4/2 then.
but it'll die next turn. You think the 1, 2, 3, the 4 damage it represents is worth that?
Maybe not. Go ahead and do what you want to do.
I think I want to play Earthen Ring Farseeker, heal us, use our ability, take the shield off this, and hit that down.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan.
Take the shield off this, hit this down. Now our sheep trades for most of their board, and then this last card will trade here. They won't trade here. They'll probably make it so that our 3/3 is dead, but now they don't want to just attack us, because then we get to trade all of our cards for all of their cards, and what they don't know is all of our cards are much better. I hope.
No, me too. At 7, we get the Force Tank Max. Or, no, it'll be 8 after our guy dies. You can cast it... you could cast it a turn early without Divine Shield, though, if you wanted.
That is the attack that I thought was the best.
Ooh, nice.
Very nice.
Wow.
We really need a Druid here. Or
Wow.
Starfall.
2 damage to all enemy minions.
I think we'll do that. And the next turn we'll just be playing our Force Tank Max, and then following that up with 8. Our own Spectral Knight. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand, and it's on the board. They're still winning on the total amount of cards, but there's not too much we can do. We didn't really have a card draw engine outside of Cult Master in this deck. Ooh, they are really throwing down some beef. Tempted to play the Noyotron. The Noyotron and the Spectral Knight at 7. No, then that puts our opponent.
Well, isn't the other thing a 7/7 though?
Yeah.
So it'll take 2 of their cards out.
If
Possibly
they attack
3.
it, they're more likely to attack us for as much as they can. But the big decision here was the Gubari Berserker is so good against the Noyotron. Being able to attack into it, take off the shield, and then gain a bunch of damage. Oh,
Nice.
very nice by
Would
them.
not have expected them to have that.
I can't target it. And targeting this is ill-advised.
Well, they wanted to attack it. They just couldn't. Ooh. Nice. The only problem is...
That was a mistake. Reporting for duty.
I like that path that they took. It's pretty good. All right, so that'll be draw a card next turn. So we're going to go ahead and play these cards. Go ahead and play the Noyotron, which is not doing much here. The Spectral Knight.
And then do 1 to one of their creatures.
Then we're going to go ahead and kill this so that they can't... They're going to take off the Divine Shield and then attack with their creature, then attack with their other creature. The good news is...
That'll hopefully die.
Yeah, hopefully this will not attack this card right here. We're really hoping this misses. It did not, so we getting hurt.
Looks like it may be over.
Our run of 2 wins? 2 wins. Woo! Alright, so this is going to draw us a card. Excess mana. Interesting.
A taunt guy.
Not enough.
Alright, so you can trade your 4 for their 9.
We can, but I
And
don't
you're
think
still
this-
going to die.
Right, and we're specifically dying to the Stranglethorn Tiger. This had a chance to not attack correctly, but yeah, the Stranglethorn Tiger is just doing a lot of work here. And that's going to be it. We're in another draft.
One more. Two-win key. We got a pack and 4 to go. So now we have Jaina, Thrall, or Gul'dan.
Alright, so it looks like Jaina is going to be our pick.
It is.
We've had poor results before, but I think that isn't indicative of what's happening. Alright, so Secret Keeper is not the pick. Goblin Blast Mage. Wow, Goblin Blast Mage has such a high upside, but we have to have a mech. In our last deck, I would have been happy to pick it. 4 mana, 4/5. 5/4 is great. I think it's probably better than Twilight Drake. I think it's Goblin Blast Mage, just on average, is getting better than Twilight Drake.
So Twilight Drake's rated a 66. The Goblin Blast Mage is rated a 62. And the Secret Keeper is rated a 10.
It's interesting that the Twilight Drake is rated higher. I guess for the first couple turns you're less likely to have less cards in hand, but you're probably playing... You're up 1 card of your starting hand, so it probably has 5 toughness, so I guess that's why. It's usually a 4 mana 4/5.
So
It can be
it's
a 4
either
mana
way
4/5.
though. I mean, this one's always going to be a 5/4, and it may be textless. So it's really up to us. They're so
Okay.
close.
Well, look, I like that you're trying the Blast Mage. Maybe that can...
All right, let's hope for a lot of mechs.
A few mechs. We don't need that many. Okay, so these are all bad cards. Ice Barrier is probably the best of the shittiest cards.
Ice Barrier rated at 32. Not what you want to see for your second pick. The Young Dragonhawk is rated a 1, and the Wisp
It's also
is
rated.
rated a 6.
All right.
Actually,
Ice Barrier. Cards we don't want to play, but are probably better than any other cards you can play.
No one will expect that secret. That's for sure.
Okay, so here's an interesting one. Blizzard or Sun Fury Protector is the winner, and it's hard to tell which because giving 2 minions battle taunt is very powerful, but our mass damage and freeze effects are also very protectable.
Well, so Blizzard's rated the highest for its straight card advantage potential, I'm sure, and the Protector's rated 52. The
Surprisingly
Counterspell
low.
is actually rated a 46. I would
usually
thought it
gonna-
would be lower,
It's usually going to do something relevant.
so I would go with the Blizzard.
Definitely. All right, Polymorph.
Yeah,
Easy
I'm
pick.
pretty sure Polymorph is going to be rated almost as high as you can go. 74. The other two are decent creatures, but not that high.
So it's interesting here that Beast is likely to be the better card of the two due to more Beast synergies than Murloc's synergies.
yeah, most of the Murlocs seem to just be bad in draft.
Fish people just never really hold up. All right, we're at Force Tank Max.
You really can't trust them.
Sorcerer's Apprentice is a very...
The Corsair is rated a 10.
Right, that's a card you can pick up a little bit more aggressively when you either desperately need a taunt creature, as we have before, or when you have some equipment. With a decent amount of equipment, it's fine. It's about an iron for a Grizzly.
Yes, the Apprentice is rated a 62, and the Force Tank Max is rated a 60. So it's really either one.
Do you want a high-end card like that, or would you rather have being able to play more spells? We don't have that many spells.
Well, we actually have 3 spells out of 4 picks.
Okay, I'm wrong.
So
I just didn't look at the sidebar. Yeah, maybe. Let's try Sorcerer's Apprentice. Let's try this powerful synergy-based deck and be rewarded immediately.
Wow, I bet Flame Cannon is rated very highly.
I bet Flame Cannon is the best of all of these cards, followed
76.
by Colt Master, followed by Ice Lance.
Ice Lance is rated 18, and Colt Master, we talk about him all the time, he's rated a 68.
Which one was the highest?
Flame Cannon.
With a...
It's 76.
Yep. All right.
So, we'll take all the Sorcerer's Apprentice you can throw at us game. I'm going to look up Frost Nova, just out of curiosity, but I'm going to go ahead and say we're taking the Apprentice.
Sure.
With this many spells? Oh my goodness, Flame Strike. That one's got to be rated highly.
Right, and Flame Strike... Sorcerer Apprentices are better in multiples. If we can have 3 out, I'd love to have 3 out. Alright, so...
I would guess Water Elemental is
I
rated
think
the highest.
Duplicant is a card that is quite powerful as well. Oh, well, it's probably Water Elemental.
The Elemental is rated at 83. The Duplicant is rated at 44. And the Shield Bearer is probably not even rated. He's
Right.
rated so low.
The place I like Duplicant specifically is when you have a powerful card on the board, you play your Duplicant, you attack your creature into that, you decide which creature you get back. But on average, it is going to be worse than that. And Water Elemental is always doing something nice. Abomination or Violet Teacher, it's hard to say. Our deck has a lot of spells. But
Wow. So Violet Teacher is rated at 66, and Abomination is rated at 42. But since we have so many spells in our deck, I think the Teacher would be higher either way.
probably.
We're very spell heavy at this point. We're only 10 picks in, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are spells. So we've got
Alright.
half spells.
So we
right
want to
now.
look at curve considerations here. I like Alkalite of Pain. And the reason I like it in this deck isn't just that we can shoot it. It's that we want to draw these powerful spells, and Alkalite of Pain represents a speed bump. Our opponent is likely to just go ahead and kill it with their 3 or more power creatures, so we can't attack it multiple times into a low power creature. And Antique Hillbot does buy us time, but it buys us time later in the game.
So right now we don't have anything that will actually deal damage besides our mage ability, but that's good enough.
Yeah,
That's good enough. I'll look up Antique Hillbot just out of curiosity.
it's probably
a
better
44.
overall. It's fine.
So
What's
yeah.
Alkalite of Pain rate on this? I wonder if they should have changed it for the...
Yeah, it's rated 64, probably because of the mage ability.
It is. Being able to draw usually probably 2 to 3 cards.
And the Rock Jaw is rated at 58, so a little bit higher than I would have thought. Oh,
Alright.
Snow Chugger is probably rated.
It's definitely Snow Chugger. Above, the mage doesn't get the strongest creatures. He usually gets tricksy creatures, and the fact of the matter is, Snow Chugger is amazing. In Constructed, you can put your Snow Chuggers into the Frozen deck. The Frozen deck's a real deck in a Constructed.
It certainly is.
All right.
Wow, I bet the egg is rated terribly.
You only have to shoot it twice to get a 4/4 here.
It's rated 38.
Do we have anything that does damage to all creatures, including our own?
Not yet, no. Most of the mage abilities don't hit your own creatures.
All right. We are definitely looking for battle for spell damage. I'm not sure if Ancient Mage is what we want to be doing.
So it's rated very lowly.
Well, it's adjacent minions. We don't have that many minions by itself. It's just underwhelming. What's Mind Control Tech? I don't think Mind Control Tech's that... We're going to pick it. Because it's good in a bad situation. It's great when you're behind, and that's what you want. I would say a lot of the times, though, if we're ahead, we're going to have to kill most of their creatures, so it's not going to be great. I think it's definitely the pick. It has the best floor.
Yeah, I would love to just go ahead and build this straight spell damage deck, but I think going for a little bit of, I guess, just the highest picks, just just going for what's consistently the most powerful.
And consistency is important.
So,
All
wow,
right.
I think
Flame Strike number 2 is
I
definitely
think
the winner.
Flame Strike number 2 is where I want to be.
Being that Flying Machine is terrible, and Mirror Entity is...
So Mirror Entity is actually rated at 50, but Flame Strike I think is near the top. At an 88.
Right, we're looking for things to really give us spell damage at this point. Unfortunately, they keep giving stuff like Fireball, which we have to pick.
Yeah, so Fireball's rated at 88, and I wouldn't be sad having an entire deck with Fireballs in it.
Alright, so I'm not sure if we want Mirror Image or Archmage. Mirror Image buys us time.
So the Archmage is a 52. The Mirror Image is
42.
a 42, and the Core Hound is a 28.
5 toughness for 7 mana just isn't getting there. It's going to trade, but it doesn't always trade favorably. Sometimes you trade for a 2-3 and a 3-2, and you're just sad. Archmage, it's fine. He's not doing that much. It's usually going to die, but whatever.
7.
Alright, Frost Nova could be the card we want. I don't know if we need more in-game power, but I'm still kind of leaning towards Forest Tank Max. Just something to finish after we play all these spells. Remember, you're not going to win with just spells. Fireballing your opponent multiple times is a bad plan. It's not efficient.
I am not opposed to killing them that way, though, and if I can, I will take it.
It's true.
I do try to hold the Fireball to get the maximum out of the 6 damage.
Right.
So they drop something that does have.
If
around
we had a
6
deck that was just made out of fireballs, it would actually be a bad deck.
But I think it might win a lot. I don't think they're fast enough.
No,
to be
no,
a
no.
deck full of Fireballs.
Well, they play their creature damage for somewhere. You have to kill the creatures,
So-
and you run out of fireballs.
I would love to play that game just to see if we could kill them with a deck full of Fireballs.
I mean, we could build the magic deck that's a deck full of lightning strikes. I don't think it wins.
So, alright. Force Tanks Max it is. Now
Alright, but we'll go with another fireball. It's just better than the Geomancer. The Geomancer is just going to trade for something. We're using these as kill spells. Giblin Stalker is exactly the kind of card I'm looking for here. A card that we can hide behind and wait until we selectively get in a position we can play it early and protect it. The only way it could be better is if we had a 2-3 with Divine Shield. I would take the 2-2 with Divine Shield pretty highly as well.
So the Surgeon is rated 50, and the
Stalker's probably higher, but even if it wasn't, the fact of the matter is we don't have creatures. Abusive Sergeant doesn't really do much.
so the Stalker is rated to 58.
Alright, so I think Mana Addict
For health to your hero.
serves to be an amazing card.
I believe Mana Addict is going to be the best for us.
Illuminator is a very interesting card. We don't have the secrets for it, but it's definitely a card I could see justifying playing in certain situations.
So Illuminator is rated a 48.
Right, and that rating only matters early. Late in the game, you're going to know yes or no on Illuminator. Mana Addict is definitely where we're at, though, right?
Yeah, it and Ancient Mage are both rated lowly, but I think for our deck, it's going to be one of these two.
It's Mana Addict. We don't have that many creatures. They also something early, and then every turn is a fireball to kill their crowd. Stuff is great.
Wow, this is interesting because we don't have any 5 drops, and this is a very good card. But Undertaker is one of the highest rated cards.
I think Undertaker's terrible.
Oh wow, Undertaker is terrible in this format. I was thinking of the one that gains them 5 life. What it does.
Yeah. The thing about it too is even though Undertaker was very well rated, we don't have creatures. It's bad for our deck. At this point, we're making picks based much more on what our deck needs. Like another Fin Creeper is what we're picking here.
Yep.
We don't want the Dancing Swords. We don't want that thing. Okay.
Ooh, now this is difficult. Do we want another creature because we don't have very many of them, or another Blizzard because it's amazing?
We need to. Yeah, it's definitely the Twilight Drake or the Blizzard. We're usually only playing one spell a turn. We don't have any real draw abilities. I kind of like the Blizzard. We don't really need.
Let's see. How many creatures do we even have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we've got a few more than I thought. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not doing it poorly. So Blizzard it is.
All right, let's go with another Fireball.
Ooh, another Fireball. I'm liking that. Your weapon? That doesn't really do anything for us. Charge 6 drop is kind of neat, and a taunt 6 drop I think is better.
It's interesting.
So the
And
Spiteful Smith is rated at 56.
Yeah, the ratings are Lord of the Arena, Spiteful Smith, Reckless Rocketeer, probably. But the thing to remember here is that Reckless Rocketeer could represent the card that we play, attack with. If they play a card, we kill their card. It gets more damaging quicker, but I think it's Lord of the Arena, even with that hypothetical, just due to the floor being higher on it. All right, I think we're on another Archmage.
God, look at our curve, though.
We have just kill spells. It doesn't matter.
It does, yeah.
Like
It's going to be really cool.
we're not playing. We're probably playing the Boulder Fist Ogre here. We just want things to kill with.
I actually kind of want to play the Aspire here, just because we don't have all that many low drops. But I think this will win us more games.
Our Fireball's going to be killing anything they're playing. We're just going to be killing
Yes.
things over and over.
Ooh.
Arcane Intellect is the card I'm fond of.
Definitely, yes. Arcane Explosion's looking good, too.
The other two cards don't matter. So yeah, a card that's situationally good is better than two cards that don't.
Ooh, a legendary. This one summons a creature when it dies. This one has spell damage and draw a card. And
Okay.
this one, not very helpful for us because it deals with weapons.
So we need to make this decision: Carne Bloodhoof or Blood Mage Thanos, and it has to do with us counting the cards in there. They're gonna kill our Blood Mage Thanos if they can.
So the Blood Mage is rated at 50, and
The Carne Bloodhoof is definitely rated higher.
8 at 8, yeah.
It's probably the pick because it represents two creatures for them to kill. I will say the thing about the Blood Mage Thanos is obviously it's very powerful. We could go. It's just not enough power for the deck though. Like it seems like it's the perfect card. It replaces itself. It lets us get ahead. But when push comes to shove, just two bodies for 6 mana is better.
I'd rather have two big creatures. Even though it would be awesome to play the Blood Mage followed by all of our spells. Alright, well let's see how quickly this goes. It went very quickly last time, so.
We have a guest hiding in the shadows, swirling, scraping. It's making cappuccinos ominously. All right, let's burn things to death. Violet Teacher one of our better cards if they don't kill it.
I do agree.
I think we just ship the Flame Strike. I think we keep the Polymorph. It gets rid of whatever they have. We don't have any better answers for except for that there. This is a synergy-based deck.
I
It's
think,
not an
I think we
aggressive
ship
deck.
it all and try to get some creatures. Or just,
Yeah,
more.
that's what I'm afraid.
That-
This
that
deck
didn't work.
is very different. This is not an aggressive deck
Oh
so much
my.
as a deck relying on killing all of their threats.
We really need to get to 6 and 7 mana very quickly.
This is a problem. That card's a big problem. We're going to have to be shooting our opponent. Nope, I lied. We're going to be playing Mana Addict, letting them draw a card. We actually might have been better off playing Mana Addict next turn, because they're going to attack and heal. I really like that play by them, by the way, is attack and heal.
That's what I would do.
Even if I did have something to play. I don't like it as much.
They are going to attack us. Strange.
Alright, well we're rewarded because we drew the 1 casting 3 spell in our deck, and now we get to kill their 1/3 for no apparently good reason. And the Arcane Explosion, right, are they 1/1s or 1/2s that the spider turns into?
Other 1/1s.
Alright, so we have a lot of good cards.
Oh, it's only until end of turn.
Yes.
Nice. Ooh, whenever a character is healed, deal 1 damage to a random enemy.
It's a nice play by them.
Hopefully that'll be us and not the creature. Good.
Alright.
So we can Arcane Explosion and then trade with this. Or we can
Play Water Elemental.
play Water Element. We can also Fireball this and trade with this.
We can also just, yeah, trading's probably better. Getting their big creature off the board is okay as well. We have Flame Strike coming up soon. I like just playing the creature, trying to get them to dedicate things to the board, attacking them for 1. The more things they put on the board, they can freeze things as we keep going, and then just a nice thick flame strike followed by dealing 1 for 1 with their fireballs. Not that many creatures have more than 7 toughness.
And not many things will survive a blizzard followed by a flame strike. So it doesn't really matter what they play.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we can freeze or destroy this guy and then cast the flame strike to kill
probably
4
our play next
creatures.
turn.
Nice.
I think we actually just shoot their 1/1. No, attack their 1/1, and then Arcane Explosion and shoot their 2/2.
So if we kill this, they'll get 2 more 1/1s, and we'll kill 4 1/1s with an Arcane Explosion.
Yeah, and that's better here than playing the Mind Control, because there's only 1 creature even vaguely worth getting.
What is this guy?
Can we play both?
Oh, we should play this one first.
Yeah, hopefully get the 2/3. We didn't. That's fine.
That felt really good. I almost played those in the wrong order.
Well, we wouldn't have played the other one. We just would have shot something. There was another line of play, but, you know. That's a good fireball target.
Guy.
We can also play Blizzard. That's only 3 damage. That's not very good. Yeah, we just fireball it and hit them for 6.
Our spells will blot out the sun.
That's basically where we're at. If they don't play something threatening, we play a 6/7 or a 4/5 that turns another 4/5. Probably a 6/7, just better pressure. We can play Lord of the Arena and attack him. Fine. Lord of the Arena, we'll trade for 2 of his cards. We don't have to spend a card. They have to spend cards. It's unfortunate we get more cards with Taunt. This deck really wants to just put down a decent threat, a Violet Teacher maybe, and a card with Taunt, and just call it a game. Just really work on their creatures.
Ooh, nice.
It's fine. They can trade one of their cards for one of ours. He should be trading his 4/3 for our 3/3. Alright, we'll trade his 5/3 for our 3/5, which we're again fine with. We can Flame Strike. Should need be.
What's this guy doing damage? Oh, does it do that?
We can Blizzard.
I think Blizzard's pretty good right now.
Blizzard.
It only gets 2 of their cards, but
it's fine. Let's just keep the pressure on. We have more cards. You wanted to go with that instead of playing the Sorcerer's Apprentice?
didn't think about it actually. Not to mention, I like to play the Apprentice the same turn I play stuff.
Yeah, I think we're late enough in the game that effect is less important.
Well, also, I don't like to play something and have it die immediately.
Yeah, I think we Flame Strike here. I think we play Sorcerer's Apprentice, Flame Strike. And then we shoot the 4/5. That was...
we don't have quite enough mana to shoot.
Well, we still want to play the
we
Flame
can
Strike.
fireball it.
We want to kill both the creatures. That was definitely a misplay. I should not have told you to shoot that. So now they're going to kill our 3/1. We made a big misplay there. That cost us a card. The actual play should have been shoot that and not play our 3/2. So we just go ahead and attack our 3/3 into him or a 3/1 in that.
He's going to probably trade with one of these, so...
Yeah, we're not going to draw another card that matters with it either.
Not to mention, he's at 14. 6 is starting to matter a lot.
Yeah, that was a bad play.
And
Bad suggestion.
we have another fireball in the deck somewhere. Summon a random friendly million, something or another.
Yeah, for that died this game and doesn't give battlecry effects.
Oh, nice heal.
Yeah, we're just going to shoot it.
That.
He should just trade with our 3/2. That was not a good trade for him. He wants to trade with our 2, which I understand. But I think we...
Sheep,
shoot, and attack.
Shoot. Sheep.
And now we're just going to...
Alkali?
We can also... let's just save the fireball. Let's just attack him for 3. You can go ahead and trade one of his creatures for ours, and then next turn we're at fireball.
Eventually we should probably play these guys. They shouldn't have hung out in our hand this long. We should have been going for the throat more, I think.
We have been going through the throat. Being able to just... We don't have enough creatures, I don't think.
Odd.
I mean, I guess it's the best use they can use Shrinkmeister. Shrinkmeister can be very good. It can also be very mediocre. That's fine. Let's attack our 1/3 into him.
Or into this to draw a card.
Yeah, let's go ahead and draw a card.
If you have a mech, we don't have a mech.
We're just playing a 4 and a 6 likely, but we could just draw another fireball and that could be it. We just play a 4 and a yeah, we play R4 and a 6. I guess we play the ogre here.
Maybe we'll draw 2 fireballs next turn. And all this will be just for fun.
This deck's interesting. This is definitely the kind of deck I prefer to play.
I do like many burn effects. Blizzards, flame strikes, fireballs all day long.
It's also the kind of deck that's going to be eschewing the normal draws we do, right? Where our first hand is probably better than our mulligan just because we don't have a creature density. We're used to that creature density. Limited is normally defined by creature density, but one of the advantages to Hearthstone is that you can limit it to
flame cannon.
What you want to specifically play. I think we're actually just playing Fireball on our 6-drop. I think we're actually just Fireballing and winning. Actually, sorry.
Yep. Fireballing and winning. We'll play this for fun, just to show how good we are.
We had a legendary. Nothing else mattered. And now our opponent can blame our loss, their loss on legendary.
I was trying to end my turn, it would not let me. If you kill your opponent, you cannot end your turn.
Alright, let's see one more time. Let's see what you got this time. I really don't know what a good hand to keep is. I liked the Violet because it was damage, or it was a win condition. But I'm not sure what else we want.
So I usually just push everything that's 4 high.
I don't know if that works here because our 3 or less cards aren't that good.
No, they're not.
Our deck's really odd. I mean, I would definitely keep a Snow Chugger. I'm not going to say otherwise. But our deck skews high. The value of our cards is very good. Our 4s always answer their 4s. I don't think Mind Control tech here is good or bad. I would keep all that. I like it all. What else do you expect to do early?
So there's a good chance that this won't be useful until later in the game, so we might as well try to draw it later in the game.
It's also just a 3/3 for 3. We can just play it on 3 to kill one of the creatures with 3.
That's true.
And that's fine.
We probably have better stuff, though. And then, like I said, I just push 4s.
Yeah, we can see what we get.
So,
Mana Addict is good. I think maybe we... No, we definitely play Mana Addict. With Flame Cannon, Arcane Explosion, and the coin.
Not to mention, this counts as a spell.
Yeah, at turn 2, we just play the Mana Addict. And,
Not a bad 4. Oh, good. I love when they draw extra cards.
I love when they... This could be tough, but we can just go to their face. Wow, I think we just play the Mana Addict, and the next turn we...
Next turn we coin Water Elemental.
Coin Violet Teacher.
Oh, yeah, except
we're not. We're actually using
Flame
Cannon. We're just playing Flame Cannon.
Oh, yeah, Flame Cannon is way better now. I was like, I have to target this, right? It's actually a random enemy. Yep.
Yeah, we just attack. Call it a turn. It depends what they play. If we're playing the Violet Teacher or the Water Elemental.
So a Violet Teacher would be good because we have the coin and the Arcane Explosion already in hand.
If they play,
there's a good chance we'll get 2.
Yeah, 2 effects.
And look, we drew the Mind Control tech before we needed it.
Yep, and that came out of the... So the Violet Teacher, just the Violet Teacher pass. They're on answering our creature.
Or we're going to get a lot of 1/1s.
And then next turn, we can play...
6 mana or 5 mana.
You know. Then turn deal 2.
Non-mech.
That's great.
That
what is
seems
that card
painful.
again? Is it a rare?
Yes, it's a rare.
Well, how much damage do we need to deal to that?
5.
So we can play the coin and Blizzard, get 2 creatures, and kill his 3/5. I think that's what we have to do. It kind of sucks, but killing his creature that's going to kill all of our stuff would be nice. And we get 2 1/1s out of the
Well,
deal.
so if we get 2 1/1s, there's a good chance this thing will live another turn, and we'll have Blizzard.
It'll still do the...
But it might do it to a 1/1.
Oh, that's correct.
And that way we don't have to trade the Violet Teacher.
Yeah, and he just probably doesn't have a way to heal. That's a really good point. We should have attacked.
Oh, wow. I pulled a Daniel. My bad.
Well, I'll pull the Daniel now.
You're like, I see how that goes. Okay.
All right. Drawing cards. He's looking for something to answer the Violet Teacher. Really wants to. I don't know if he knows about our silence trick. Oh, he's getting aggressive. So I think... I think if it doesn't... We actually want it to hit our 3/3 this turn, because then we can attack our creature into his Arcane Explosion and shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Oh, didn't know it could do...
All right, let's start with our Arcane Explosion. We don't need to shoot that Arcane Explosion.
Yes, you are correct.
So we go ahead and kill his creature. And then attack and shoot.
Not that one.
And
that
attack
one.
him.
Let's not forget that. And then this guy.
Desperately trying to... Now, unfortunately, we've somehow managed to run out of spells.
We've got to draw. Ooh, spell damage. And it's a force. Ooh, whenever your hero takes damage,
And it'll...
gain +2/+2. Forever.
Let's go ahead and fireball that.
Look, a spell.
And I think we just play our Mind Control attack as pressure. They're not ever going to have 4 creatures.
Yep.
Unless things go very poorly a lot of turns in a row.
Okay, that minion needs a turn.
Desperately.
Had disease, wasn't paying attention.
Alright, so we're probably just playing either Archmage or Fin Creeper. We can play the Water Elemental, but I think that Fin Creeper is usually better.
3 versus 4 attack. I think I'll just...
No, the Fin Creeper or the Water. If we want to protect our creatures.
Oh, it depends on what he plays.
Or multiple what he plays. I'm sure they have some sort of sweeping effect. That's what they really need to play is 3 damage to all creatures.
Yeah, he has 3 damage to all creatures. It's called Hellfire, I think.
Alright, there you go. There's his haste. There's his charge, sorry.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what we play at this point, because
We play
I don't care if any of my creatures die.
Yeah, we're going to play Fin Creeper and shoot his 5/4, right? Offering him to let him trade his 5/4 for our... he can't trade that way. And by shooting it, it just dies immediately. We don't have anything.
So I think the stealth is a better play because...
It allows for more damage quicker. You just want to finish out.
So... And then all at him.
Alright. And then next turn you just shoot one of his 5/1, and then you shoot his 2/1.
Well, next turn if he doesn't do something, I just kill him.
Assuming he finds a way to stay.
Yeah, so... Oh, that was pretty cool.
Yep, because we only got one guy. That was a decent Leroy Jenkins. And
Where'd it
he has
go?
a lot of bodies, but it's not helping.
Did it have haste or something?
It did. He checked a 6/2 and kill it. Alright, he's dead.
Excellent. Well, he won't allow me to attack him.
That tiny guy's made it.
Woo! Alright, I'm going to let Daniel take over.
Oh, it's time to end the win streak. So Brad was successfully kind of using an aggro control. He's very aggressive and playing his spells. Probably going to be playing a little bit more controlling overall, and I don't know if it's going to suit the deck better. He's very successful at those times. His opponent died with lots of cards in hand and just not able to catch up, keeping them behind on tempo.
Yeah, I think curving is way more important than trying to hold good spells in your hand. So I think pushing anything 4 or higher just seems to work for me.
I'm going to push the Archmage and keep the Water Elemental. That's not
I would
true.
actually push all those, maybe keep Violet Teacher. Because you don't need 8 health. It's just in your deck because we had to draft something.
It's true. That spell is only good with spell effects.
Yeah, I mean, it's good with Violet Teacher, but I'd rather be just playing another creature.
So here I've decided if I want to play Arcane Intellect on 3 or not. And it really depends if I draw another 3.
If you don't draw anything next turn, I would just go ahead and draw 2 more cards.
Yeah, if I don't have anything to do on 3, I am going to do it. There's no reason to waste that mana efficiency. I'm also going to shoot this. We have cards that do 2 damage, just like Blizzard. And it's nice to keep this card within reach of Blizzard on turn 5, should I need it. Right now, we're just trying to stabilize. We have powerful cards. We have synergistic cards.
It's unfortunate we drew so many high costing things.
This is where we can get behind. If he throws down another creature,
Ooh.
yep, just like that.
Wow.
I'm gonna go ahead and Arcane Intellect. We're gonna be taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, unless you want to play a 4-drop.
Well,
And then that, yeah. I think you should probably just draw 2 cards. Because if you manage to get the Blizzard on turn 5 or the Flame Strike on turn 6, that's probably better.
yeah, we're just gonna go for a shot, and then the Blizzard. We are way behind right now, but the Blizzard will definitely help shore up. Ooh, nice. Yeah,
Oh my.
it's representing a lot of damage.
So,
It's just not enough.
Violet Teacher, I guess.
I think I'd rather have the Water Elemental out.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and throw the water out.
They're less likely to attack it, and
Ooh, man.
yeah, it's gonna hurt. But next turn we're looking at a Blizzard, which will help really shore that up.
Yeah, that'll buy us a few turns.
That guy's gonna hurt. We're gonna take our 3/6 into it though.
Well, you're gonna Blizzard, so it won't matter.
Guy putting the
Putting the pain on us there.
yeah. Fortunately, we can't be greedy and have other stuff out when we do this. We just have to cast this Blizzard right now.
That was a lot of killing, though. Go ahead and send the 3 into the 4/4. Never mind.
Nah, I'll just freeze it again next turn.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to play Arcane Explosion next turn. Now, next turn, we will have 6 mana, so I'll be playing Violet Teacher and Arcane Explosion to clear their board.
Yeah. Ooh, we're at 14 before we stabilized.
It's low, and he can do a damage a turn.
Nice.
That's actually quite powerful. Alright, so we need to look here.
Well, you've got a Fireball.
We do. We also have a taunt ability.
Taunt and 3 damage to freeze.
I think we're going to Arcane Explosion and attack here. Start with the Arcane Explosion. I'm doing that regardless, right?
I think if you play the Fin Creeper and use your minion to freeze his 5/5, that might be better. Because then on your next turn, you can Flame Strike and kill everything.
That's a good point. Let's just get another card. These cards are losing value quickly, but we have a lot of cards in hand. And this is where something...
Not good.
It's fine.
Oh, well. Flame Strike loses some value, but... Man.
Yeah, we're just playing the Flame Strike.
Ooh, he is going so fast.
We're going to be playing Ice Barrier right after, so it won't be too terribly bad. The other option we can play is... No, we already played Fin Creeper.
Yeah,
So, yeah, the only option we have is Flame Strike. Not dying.
Well, that's rough.
It is.
So, Violet Teacher, Ice Barrier. It looks like that might be all we have mana for.
Probably. That's fine. And if they play something we need to kill, we have 5.
We get lucky there. Wow. Nothing but creature after creature, too. That's impressive.
We're really putting the screws
So
on
maybe
this.
we'll draw Flame Strike.
Another one.
Nope.
Alright, so we need to...
Violet Teacher, Ice Barrier.
Yep. Alright, so our opponent's going to keep coming at us. We are at 6 according to them, so they think they've got us dead. And they've got us damn close. Oh, love to follow phase says that we can earn our buy games cheap clicking on pyramid schemes.
It's looking a lot better than losing this game.
Interesting attack there. Oh!
Blizzard, come on. Wow.
Called shot.
Called it.
We can
Arcane Explosion?
do one more damage.
I think Arcane Explosion. Because then the next turn you can send your 1/1 at that 6/5.
We're really just trying to clear the board out and get in a position where he can't defeat us in 6 turns. Remember, he can just kill us in 6 turns, which I think is what he should be really pushing for. Because if he gives us too many more turns, we're just going to throw a whole bunch of stuff out. Whoa! Those are some big spells.
Wow, he keeps attacking our creatures instead of us.
This is not a good spot for him. He should definitely be attacking us.
Man. Well, we can do 6 damage to it and then trade our 3/5 for it.
We definitely need to kill both of these cards. Which we can't do, correct?
Correct. Wow. That was an amazing curve by him.
We're just barely out of the range.
Yeah.
Instruction begins. I shall do as you say.
Well, if he tries to kill one of our creatures, we'll be fine, but he should just kill us.
Oh well.
Doesn't always work out. Alright, Red's taking back over. He's got this
Go
deck.
ahead. Go ahead. You got this.
Painful.
Alright, after that amazing defeat where he had nothing but creatures the entire game, no matter how many times we wiped all of them off the board, we're going to try to win one.
I will fight with honor.
You asked for it.
So I'm just going to push everything for higher. And receive the same thing back.
The light protects me.
So I pushed a bunch of high cost cards and got a bunch of high cost cards back.
Yeah, this deck's curve being so high does mean that, you know, I think we just shoot the Divine Shield.
And then next turn, hopefully we can Arcane Explode it.
We can. We can also play our Alkalite of Pain. It does really not so good against a 3/4.
Man.
I think we just Fireball. We can't Fireball. I still like Fireballing the 3/4. Maybe he'll commit more small creatures to the ground or something, make the Arcane better. We really don't want a 3/4 there. It is 2 spells, which is unfortunate. We really don't have a way to capitalize on that outside of Mana Addict.
Man, why in the world? Just all these big things. We've got plenty of small things, we just have to draw them.
Well,
Oh my.
that's painful. On the plus side, we don't have to fight an 8, 9, or 7, 8.
Okay.
I think we just play the Alkalite of Pain. We need cards. And if he doesn't attack it, attacking which is 1/3 feels pretty good. Greedy.
Wow, we really could use Fireball. I'm gonna keep calling the next card we get.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just attack his 1/3 and draw a card. Now we get to start playing our taunt
Oh, good, a
creatures.
flame shot. That's what I want.
If he attacks his 2/7 and 2/1/2, it drew his 2 cards, kill a creature, it's fine.
2/7. Draws this card. A blizzard.
Blizzard would be a good play this turn.
Don't think.
We definitely just play the Blizzard, it freezes it.
Does it freeze through?
Yeah.
Oh, it does freeze through.
Which is really what we need, because now we can
Did
play
not
with the
know
Flame
that.
Strike if he plays another creature. Just really what we're hoping for is just...
Hey, look at that.
There we go, thank you.